Hi everyone, this is Ishmeet and I am here today to talk about organizational behavior. Of course, most of us have heard about this term called organizational behavior before, and what it rings in our minds is something related to people in an organization and how they behave or interact with their environment and with each other. We clearly see organizational behavior is a mix of two separate terms, organization and behavior. So, what's organization? Organization is a group of people who work towards a common goal with a collective effort which is in one direction. Because only then will we be able to achieve the common goal. And what's behavior? It is the response an individual shows as a consequence of their surroundings. Whatever is happening in their surroundings will elicit a response from them, verbal or physical. So, organizational behavior or OB is a field of study that investigates the impact of individuals, groups, and structure on behavior within the organization. Or, in simple terms, it studies how people interact within groups. OB is basically drawn from multiple other fields that deal with people, behavior, and their interaction with social environments. Majorly, these fields are psychology, sociology, anthropology, and social psychology. These are all used in different levels of organization behavior. There are three levels to organizational behavior. The first is the individual level, which involves organizational psychology and understanding human behavior and incentives. The second level is groups, which involves social psychology and sociological insights into human interaction and group dynamics. The top level and the third level is organizational, where organization theory and sociology come into play to undertake systems level analysis and the study of how firms engage with one another in the marketplace. With these levels and fields of study, OB aims to be as practical and purposeful as possible. The knowledge of organizational behavior for a manager in modern organization enables him to be more effective. Organizational behavior, as we'll see, has mainly two principles: nature of people and nature of organization. When we talk about nature of people, we have individual differences. Every individual is different in respect of intelligence, habits, nature, interests, etc., as an outcome of psychological aspects. An individual with psychological differences will show the same in their behavioral pattern in an organization. This knowledge is provided to management by the study of OBE. We will also consider whole person. An individual is a whole person with physical and psychological aspects. We cannot deal with person in parts. For example, an employee working in an organization has a lot of personal problems going on as well. It is not possible for him to keep those apart and work only with his physical capabilities at work. It will also affect his efficiency. No one can separate the physical and psychological aspects and deal with the individual. Hence, the knowledge of OB and management has to be integrated to solve problems of a whole. The third thing that we deal with in nature of people is caused behavior. This is a reaction in an individual due to some needs and wants which he has to satisfy. These may be financial or non financial. This caused behavior has to be regulated by proper motivation. Hence, the management and OB have to work together to understand the exact nature of the need of an individual to be satisfied and the desired incentive to be provided to the individual so as to help satisfy his needs. And lastly, we have human dignity, which explains that people in an organization have some strong beliefs and possess certain value systems of their own. Everyone possesses the dignity of their position and role in the organization. An individual who possesses a strong value system may not compromise it easily. Related approach of OB and management will be a great help in such a situation. The second principle that we studied, nature of organization, has two aspects: social system and mutual interests. We study social system, which explains that organizational activities are controlled by social and psychological norms. People have psychological needs and motives. At the same time, they are bound to shoulder social responsibility according to their role in the organization. Due to proper interaction of these norms, organizational activities become cordial and efficient. And then we have mutual interest that bring cooperation and confidence among people. It is the source of sound organizational behavior. People and organization are interdependent just like OB and management. While people need organization for livelihood, the organization needs people for achieving its goals. So the relation between OB and management can bring all round progress if both have amiable relationship between them. But what is the need for organizational behavior? What are its motives? First is skill development. We want to enhance the knowledge and abilities of the employees. We will identify the deficiencies of skill sets needed and try to incorporate those in the people of the organization. The second is motivation of employees. We need motivated employees who are satisfied with their job. Organizational behavior will help us understand what is motivating the employees and how to do that. The third is increasing efficiency. We want the employees to give quality performance and work within deadlines. This is the efficiency that we seek, utilizing complete potential of the employees. The fourth is creating a healthy environment. We can often find the organization in conflicts and under effects of groupism and politics. The study of organizational behavior will help you identify these and work through them to create a balanced and healthy environment for everyone in the organization. Fifth is utilizing the resources to optimum level. To effectively utilize the resources such that neither are they underutilized nor are they overutilized. And the last motive or need is that it increases the overall goodwill of the organization if every individual is happy and goal oriented and working towards the ultimate goals of the organization. Now, let me give you an interesting fact. Have you heard about the Hawthorne effect? Before I tell you what it is, I will wait for you to comment down below exactly what you know about it. Done? The Hawthorne effect was a product of research done in organizational behavior, which describes how the test subject's behavior changes when they know that they are being observed. And that skews our findings on human behavior, since it is not 100% accurate. It is this research that is credited for validating organizational behavior as a legitimate field of study. Now that it has been established as a separate field of study, let us see the several components to it. The first is personality. Personality plays a large role in the way a person interacts with groups and produces work. Understanding a candidate's personality, either through tests or through conversations, helps determine whether or not they are a good fit for the organization. Then comes leadership. Leadership, what it looks like and where it comes from, is a rich debate in the field of organizational behavior. But leadership can be a broad, focused, centralized or decentralized, decision oriented, intrinsic in a person's personality, or simply it could be a result of a position of authority. And the third is power. Now, power, authority, and politics all operate interdependently in a workplace. Understanding the appropriate ways these elements interact and are exhibited and used as agreed upon by the workplace rules and ethical guidelines are key components to running a cohesive business. Organizational behavior has four major models that give us a framework for the organization to operate on. The first is autocratic. The basis of this model is power with a managerial orientation of authority. The employees, in turn, are oriented towards obedience and dependence on the boss. The employee need that is met is subsistence. The performance result is minimal. The second is custodial. The basis of this model is economic resources with a managerial orientation of money. The employees, in turn, are oriented towards security and benefits and dependence on the organization. The employee need that is met is security. The performance result is passive cooperation. The third model is supportive. The basis of this model is leadership with a managerial orientation of support. The employees, in turn, are oriented towards job performance and participation. The employee need that is met is status and recognition. The performance result is awakened drives. The fourth and the final model is collegial. The basis of this model is partnership with a managerial orientation of teamwork. The employees, in turn, are oriented towards responsible behavior and self discipline. And the need that is met is self actualization. The performance result is moderate enthusiasm. There is no one best model, honestly, and in fact, these usually overlap in operation in different levels of the organization. I hope that this discussion on organizational behavior helped you understand the topic a little better. For more such videos around organizational behavior or around project management, check out the YouTube channel of Pixel Labs. Thank you.